What's going on, world? It's your boy Alex Miner, and today we're going to be talking about why you should be considering picking up a Panasonic G7 or G9 on this Black Friday. But first, we're at the post office. I know it's the middle of the night. It's the holiday season, Black Friday is this week, and it's the perfect time to be picking up gear if you need to do so. So we're going to talk about why you should be thinking about a Panasonic G7 or a Panasonic G9 if you're purchasing a setup for YouTube for the first time or maybe upgrading. This is the Panasonic G7. This was my first camera and what I started on my journey of video production with. Now, I have shot more, news type cameras before purchasing this. I have done work in corporate events, and so I know what the big boy cameras look and feel like, and I've used plenty of those. But when going into your own personal video production for the first time, the Panasonic G7 is one of the most remarkable cameras that you could buy. Because first off, let's jump right into price, which I know is going to be a major consideration for people. When Panasonic first started selling this, I think it was going for around $800. It is currently on sale for $448. That's amazing. And this camera is fully 4K capable. You can do up to 30 frames per second in 4K. If you want 60 frames per second for slow-mo, you can do 1080p, and it's a decent 1080p, and there aren't really many cameras on the market that have better specs than this. For that $448, you do get the camera with the kit lens, which is a 14 to 42 millimeter f3.5 to f5.6 lens. Now, I know some of you might be disappointed by that spec on the lens, but I have to say, from using this from experience, it is a sharp lens, it fast focuses, and it performs really well, even though it's super plasticky and you probably want to upgrade as soon as possible. But for glass that comes with the camera, it's insanely sharp and will give you a great image, and it's perfectly fine to start out your YouTube career with, even your professional filmmaking career if you're doing lower budget videos. Matter of fact, just to prove my point, why don't we go ahead and switch out the GH5, which I'm using right now, for this, with this lens. So now you're looking at the image of the Panasonic G7 with the kit lens, and I have to say for YouTube that this is a perfectly acceptable image. As long as you've got good lighting and you know how to frame up a shot, you can get really good results. Maybe it's not going to be all bocalicious back there, but oh well. When you're first starting out, this is really, really good. So let's say that you already own a G7 or G85 or maybe even a GH5 and you're needing to upgrade or buy a second camera body for a B cam. Why should you be considering the Panasonic G9? Well, first off, there's the price. Right now, it is on sale for $997, $998, somewhere right in there, basically under a G. Having a flagship camera from a line like Panasonic or any of the major brands where it's weather sealed, has dual card slots, all these capabilities for under $1,000, that alone is amazing. Now, recently with the upgrades from Panasonic, giving it the ability to install Vlog, giving it waveforms, giving it internal 4K 60 422 10-bit recording, it's basically a GH5 without a few key features, some of which being not having unlimited recording time, not having the anamorphic mode. But truthfully, if you're not planning on doing any of those very specific high-end filmmaking tasks, you actually don't need the GH5. You still got in-body stabilization, and the in-body stabilization is actually a little bit better than the GH5. You still got that Vlog capability, you've still got the 4K 60, I think you still got high frame rate capability, the variable frame rate modes. So there's not a whole lot separating the two now, and there are actually some improvements that haven't been made in the firmware upgrades to the GH5. There are some trade-offs there, but all in all, for a very significant price difference, because I think the GH5 is still going for about $13.99 even on sale right now, you are getting nearly the same capabilities. There's a few differences, but if you're just making YouTube videos, they're not gigantic. But that being said, if you're comparing either one of these cameras to similarly spec'd cameras on the market, dollar for dollar, there is no comparison. Almost every other camera which even comes close to having the capabilities of these cameras, most of them are at least double the price. So if you're comparing these cameras to similarly spec'd cameras on the market, dollar for dollar, nothing matches up. Whether that be Nikon, Sony, Canon, you really can't get the same value in a package with a lens, speaking of the G7, or even body only, speaking of the G9, that you just can't match it with these other cameras. Now, I know what everybody's probably going to jump to first, saying, but the autofocus. You can live without autofocus. I've done it on this channel. Many other filmmakers have done it. You know, and I realize this YouTube autofocus is a thing. It does make things very easy, but a little hard work never hurt anybody. So if you're thinking about upgrading your cameras this Black Friday, I urge you to really consider a Panasonic G7 or a Panasonic G9, especially if you're jumping into 4K for the first time and you're looking for an economical solution, or if you're already in the Lumix system and needing to add a body or upgrade. You know, it should be a no-brainer at this price point. But that's all I got for you today. It's your boy Alex Miner. Links for everything will be in the description, and I will see y'all on the next one. Happy holidays, happy hunting, happy Thanksgiving, all of that.